Hey, what's up? This is Taimur Abdulaziz and this is another Oxygen Builder tutorial. Before I start, I would like to thank you so much for the positive comments and likes. And also, I want to mention that the purpose of my tutorials is to level up your CSS skills and make you more confident with topics like CSS transforms and transitions, so you can use them effectively in your Oxygen Builder projects. So, in this tutorial, we're going to learn how to create this hero section with a menu icon which is just made by CSS and an off-canvas section which has really cool CSS transitions. So without further ado, let's get started in this tutorial. Let's start by adding a section. I will give it a class of hero. Go to the advanced size and spacing, and I will set the height to 100 VH, which is the viewport height. Now I will go to the background. Let's add the background image. Then I will set an overlay color of this dark blue and I will reduce the opacity to 60. Make sure that the background size is cover, no repeat, and the position of the background is 50% from the left and 50% from the top, just to make sure that the background image is centered. Now I will add our heading here. I will give it a class of hero heading. Change the text color to white and the size to something like 80 is fine. Then from the typography, I will set the text align to center. I will go back to the hero section. Then I will set the layout to vertical center. And from the layout panel here, I will set the justify content to flex end, just to make sure that it will be at the bottom of the page. Now, if I back to the design file here, you will see that we have a vertical line here. So we will add this vertical line. I will add an empty div. I will give it a class of vertical line. From the size and spacing, I will set the width to 1 pixel, the height to 60 pixels, and the background to white. And as I said before, that the empty divs in the Oxygen editor, any empty div has a minimum width and minimum height of 80 pixels. So to overcome this, we have to add the pseudo element of empty. So add new state, empty, and I will set the minimum width and height to 1 pixel. So as you can see, we can have now the original width of 1 pixel and the height of 60 pixels. One last thing to do is to add a top margin here, which is at least 25 or 30. That's it. Save. Now let's preview the front end. Here's our hero section with the heading and the vertical line. Now let's add the header. I will select the body. Then I will add div. I will give it a class of header. Then I will change the tag to header. I'll go to the advanced and size and spacing, and I will set the width to 90%. Then the layout, I will make the position absolute, the top 0, the left and right 0. And to make this header centered, we have to go back to the size and spacing and set the margin of the left and right to auto. So as you can see, it's now centered. One last thing to do here is to add a padding of 40 pixels from the top, 60 from the left and right, and also 40 from the bottom. And to make sure that this header will be on top of all the other elements in the page, we have to go to the layout and give it a z-index of 2. That's it for the header. Now let's add the logo As you can see here in the design file, we have the logo and we have the icon, the menu button. I will select the header now, and I will add a link wrapper. I will give it default for URL for the home page. Then this link wrapper, I will add an image inside this link wrapper. Then I will select the logo from the media library. That's it. Now I will add the menu button. This menu button, I will add the menu button. I will select the header. Then I will add an empty div inside this header. And as you can see, the layout of the header is set to vertical. I will back to the header and change the layout to horizontal, the vertical alignment to middle, and the horizontal to space between. So as you can see, we have now the logo here and the menu button here. I will select this empty div and I will give it a class of menu button. I will go to the advanced size and spacing and give it a width and height of 40 pixels. Now I will add the menu bars or the lines, as you can see here in the design. So the idea is to make this 3 lines. We will create one empty div with a width of 100% and 2 pixels. Then we will create the other 2 lines by using the pseudo elements of before and after. So with one div, we will create this icon. So I will select the menu button here. Then I will add another div inside. I will give it a class of menu bar. So this menu bar will be, I will go to the size and spacing, will be 100% width and 2 pixels height. I will go back to the background color here and I will give it a white background. And because of we are going to make the pseudo elements an absolute position, so we have to make sure that this menu bar has the position of relative. That's it. Now, as you can see, now we set the width and height to 2 pixels and 100%, but still it takes the default 80 pixels of the empty div. So again, to override this, we have to add. This is just for the back end. It's fine in the front end, but for the back end, we have to add this so we can see the actual look of this bar. So I will add an empty div here, empty state, sorry. Then again, I will set the minimum width and height to 1. So as you can see now, we have this line. Now we have the first line. And to make this line in the middle, I will select the menu button and change the alignment to vertical, to middle. So you can see now we have the first line in the middle. If I save and refresh, now we have the first line here. Okay. We will create the other 2 lines by using the pseudo elements. So I will select the menu bar from here. I will select the menu bar. Then I will add the before and after pseudo elements. The first thing, I will start with the before. I will go to the advanced size and spacing. The same thing, I will set the width to 100%. The height to 2 pixels. Then I will go back to the background and set the background to white. And I will go to the layout and make the position absolute. To move this up, we will go to the effects here, then the transform. Then I will add the translate transform. And I want to move this up in the y-axis, not in the x, in the y-axis. I want to move it up. So to move it up, you have to give a negative value of 10 pixels. Save, refresh. So as you can see now, we have the second line above, which is the before pseudo element. I will do the same, repeat the same process with the after pseudo element, exactly the same. I will go to the size and spacing, set this one to 100, the width to 100 pixels, 100%, the height to 2 pixels, Then I will go back to the background. I will give it a white background. Then the layout, I will set the layout to absolute. Then finally I will go to the effects, transform, and move this before, after pseudo element below the original menu bar. To move it down, I will select translate, and in the y-axis now I will give a positive value, not negative, because negative it will move it up, positive it will push it down, of 10 pixels. Yes, translate y 10 pixels. Save, refresh. So as you can see, now we have the 3 lines of our menu button. If you notice now, if I hover over this, it's a normal cursor. I want this like a hand cursor, so just to indicate that this is a clickable area or an active link. I will go back to the menu button, the container, the parent. I will go back to the menu button, advanced. Then I will go to the custom CSS. Then I will add this property, which is cursor, pointer. Save, refresh. So as you can see, now we have this hand pointer or cursor, just to indicate that this is a clickable link or clickable icon. Then now we will add the hover effect to our menu bars. If I go back to the design, if I preview the design now, you will see that when I hover over this, the before and after lines will move back to their original position, be like this, with a transition. So let's do this. I will select the menu button here. In this case, I will select the menu button. So when I hover over the menu button, which is 40 pixels width and 40 pixels height, the menu button, the parent, I want to add, or I want to target the before and after elements of the menu bar when I hover over the menu button. So to do this, I will select the menu button, then I will add a custom state here. I will go to the states, add custom states. Then when I hover over the menu button, I want to select the before pseudo element of the menu bar. So space dot menu bar before. So this line, when I hover over the menu button, I will select this one and change the CSS properties of this class. Click OK. Then what we want to change, because we moved this 10 pixels up, we want to return it back to its original position. I will select advanced here. We can, from the effects and from the transform, return it to 0, but as I mentioned in my last video, that there is a little bug in the Oxygen builder. When you set the transform property of translate back to 0, it gives you an empty value. So we will add this manually by going to the custom CSS. Then I will type transform property. Then the value will be translate y 0. Okay, I will do the same thing. I will add another custom state to the menu button to target the after pseudo element of the menu bar. So add state on hover. When I hover over the menu button, I want to change the menu bar, the after pseudo element of the menu bar. So menu bar colon after. The same thing, I will go to the custom CSS and make the transform, the translate y back to 0. So if I hit save now and return to the front page or front end, when I hover, see, when I hover, the before and after bars return to the original position. One last thing to do is to add a transition. When we add a transition, we will have this smooth move or smooth hover effect. So to add a transition, we will add a transition you will add a transition to the before and after pseudo elements and to the menu bar. And in this tutorial or in this video, I'm going to use the transition in a lot in many elements. So instead of adding the transition to each and every element, I will create a modifier class or a helper class just to perform this task, which is the transition. So to do this, I will select the menu bar. Then I will add a custom here class, and I'll give it the name of transition. To do this, I will go to the advanced effects transition. Then I will set the transition to something like 0.4 seconds. The timing functions to ease. The CSS properties, you can write all, which will animate all the CSS properties, but it's better to write exactly what do you want to animate. It's better for the performance because it's, when you tell the browser to animate 2 or 3 properties or 5 properties, it's better than telling the browser to animate all the CSS properties. I know already that I'm going to animate the transform, the opacity, and the background. That's it, no delay. So this is it for our transition. And speaking about the timing function, you may notice that I'm just using ease or ease in out or ease in. Let me show you a website here called easings.net. This website will show you some of the default examples of the easing or the timing functions. You can preview the timing function of some of the default values here. And if you want to create your custom timing function, you can go to which is called Cubic Bezier. You can go to the cubicbezier.com here, and you can play with the handlers here just to create your own movement or your own timing function, and you can test it here against the ease or the linear. You can test your function here. And if you are satisfied about the result, you can just copy this line and add it to the timing function. So I will return to the easings.net and I will pick this one. Instead of just ease, I will pick this one and add it as a timing function. So this is the default. The transition class will add the transition to the default state. And in some cases, we want to add a transition to the pseudo elements, to the before and after. So to make sure that this helper class will work on all the scenarios, so we have to add the before and after, the transition to the before and after. So the same transition class here, I will add the before. Again, I will add the same values, 0.4, the CSS properties, and then I will copy this one, which is the timing function. And I will add the same thing to the after here, 0.4, and I will copy this function. So now, as you can see, our transition class works on the original and the before and after pseudo element. If I save now, go back and refresh, you will see now we have a perfect transition to our menu icon or menu button. Now let's go back to the editor here, and let's add the off-canvas section. If I go back to the design here, you can see that we have this off-canvas section here. If I preview the design, you will see that when I click on the menu, I will have this full page or full width and height off-canvas section. So I will create this. I will select the body here. Then I will add a section. I will give it a class of off-canvas. Then I will go to the size and spacing. I will set the height to 100 VH. Then I will go to the layout and make the position fixed. I will set the top to 0, the left to 0, the right to 0. Then I will go back to the background, and as you can see in the design here, I have a gradient background, so I will add a gradient background. I will go down here to the gradients. I will add the first color, then the second color of the gradient. Then I will move it or give it an angle, 45 angle, like this. Save, refresh. We have now our off canvas section like this. If I go back to the design, you will notice that there is a line here in the middle. There's a line, so I will add this line as a pseudo element to the section, to the off canvas section. So I will go and add the before pseudo element here. Then I will go to the size and spacing, set the width to 1 pixel, the height to 100%. Then I will go back to the background and set the background color to white and reduce the opacity to something like 15 is fine. Then finally I will go to the layout and make the position absolute, the top to 0, and to make it in the middle here, in the center, I will give it a left position to 50%. So you see that it's now in the center of the off canvas. If I preview now, you'll see that we have this line now in the middle of the off canvas. Now let's go back to the editor and add content to the off canvas section here. So as you can see in the design here, we have a menu and we have this contact information. So to add this, I will select the off canvas section. Then I will add columns. Okay, 2 columns here. Then I'll go back to the section and make the layout horizontal and middle, just to make those 2 columns in the middle. I will change the, let me change the width of the 2 columns. I want extra padding between the columns, so I will select each one of them and I will go back to the size and spacing and change the width to 40. I will select the second one, the same thing, 40. Then I will select the parent here and go to this to the layout and make the justify content space around like this, or space between. Now I will add the menu links here to this, the first column. I will add the menu links here. I will add a text link. Then we have 4 links here. You can apply the same examples. By the way, you can apply the same example on the default menu of the WordPress menu or the menu from the Oxygen helper. But just to make things simpler, I will add the links manually here. So I will add a text link. I will give it a class of menu link. I'll change the text to about us. Okay, then I will go to the advanced typography. I will give it the white color, the font size, maybe 60 or 60 is fine. Then the line height 1, just to make sure that it will not go beyond this. 1 means 100% of the height of this text. So that's it. I will go now to the padding here. I will add 25 from the top and bottom padding. Then finally I will add, as you can see here in the design, we have a line, like a transparent line here in the bottom. So I will add a border bottom, white, and I will change the opacity to 16 or 15. The width 1 solid. So we have this line, but this line only under the text about us. I want this line to go till the end of the column to make full width. So I will select the parent, which is this column. Then I will go to the layout and add this stretch. So the child element will have this stretch of full width. If I save now, refresh, you'll see that we have a full width now. I will repeat this. I will copy this 3 or 4 times. Portfolio, services, and finally careers. So that's it. Save. This is our menu. Now I want to add a hover effect, but before that, you can, as you notice now, we have a line in the last element here, the last child. We have a line. I don't want this line because, as you can see in the design, we don't have this line here. I will go back and select this menu link icon. Then I will add a state here, custom state, which is the last child. This state will select the last child, and in our case is the careers here. Then I will go to the last child, then advanced, borders, then I will just remove the border, set the border to none. There's no line now. Save, refresh. Okay, fine. I want to add a hover now, hover effect to this menu, but I don't want to move. I want to move this to the right in a smooth transition to the right, but not the whole block with the line, only the text inside. Okay, if I set the move this menu link now, if I set the menu link to move, it will move the whole line to the right. I don't want this. I want the border to be fixed and only the text here to move to the right. So to do this, I have to wrap the text with a span. So I have to select here, select the text and add a span here. Again, I will select the text, add span, select the text, add span. Again, I will select the text also, add a span. So now we have the menu link, which is anchor tag. If you see the structure here, we have the menu link and we have a span inside. This way we can target this span on hover. So to do this, I will select now the menu link and I will add this hover effect now, or I will add a custom hover effect, custom state for the hover. I will add custom state here. I will type hover, then space span. So when I hover over the menu link, I want to change things in the span. Okay, I will add OK, hit OK, then go back to the advanced effects, transform. Then I will move this span, translate in the X direction, in the X axis, something like 30 pixels. Save. If I refresh now, you will see now we have this hover effect. To make it smooth, we have to add a transition, and as you can see, we created already a transition class for this purpose. So I will select the span, not the whole menu link, only the span here, the span from the structure panel. I will select the span, then I will add the transition class to the spans here. Transition, transition here, and finally the last one, I will add a transition here. So if I save now, refresh, you will see now we have this smooth transition to our menu links. That's it. Now I will add, I will continue and I will add the contact information here. And because it's a straightforward process, I will just fast forward this part because it's just adding some image with text. I will fast forward this. Now I have finished adding the contact information to this. As you can see, if I save now and refresh, you'll see now we have the menu and we have our contact info section. The next step now is to activate this menu button. So when we click on this, it will show the off-canvas section. Then when we click again, it will hide this section. So let's activate this link by adding a couple of JavaScript or jQuery lines here. We want to add the click functionality here to this button. The idea here is to hide this entire off-canvas section in its initial state. Then when we click on this button, we want to add a class to the body tag. We want to add a class to our body tag. This class will trigger this off-canvas section to show or to hide. So to do that, I will select the menu button. Make sure that you are selecting the menu button here. Then I will go to the advanced JavaScript. Then I will add a jQuery code, just a very simple, straightforward code, just to toggle a class when we click on this button. So jQuery, I will select the first thing. I will select the menu button, our menu button. Then when we click, we will add the click listener or the click function. When we click on the menu button, we want to run a function, okay? We want to run this function. So this is it. When we click on the menu button, we want to select the body, our body tag, jQuery to select it. And we want to toggle a class. And let's give the name of the class, which is, in this example, let's say off-canvas opened. So when we click on the menu button, this class will be added or removed from the our body tag. I will apply the code, save. Now let's check, refresh. Let me just inspect here. So let's focus on the body tag here, our body here. When I click on this, see, we have this off-canvas opened class added to the body. I will click again, it's removed. So this is the toggle class function. So when this class exists in the body, we want to show this off-canvas section. And when it's not, we want to hide this off-canvas section. Very easy and straightforward process. I will go back now. The first thing to do here is to hide this entirely in the initial state. So I will select the off-canvas section here. Then I will go to the advanced effects, transform. Then I will add a transform here, which is the translate. I will move this entire section, the off-canvas section, up. I will hide it up. So to move it in the y-axis up, you have to give a minus value or negative value, which in this case 100%, minus 100%. It means 100% of its width. To move something entirely out of the viewport, you have to give it 100%. Okay, so in this case, you see that it's hidden now. So we want to show this section when this menu icon clicked or when the off-canvas opened class exists in the body. So to do this, I will add a custom selector here. I will go to the manage selectors and I will add a custom selector here, and which is dot class, which is opened, off canvas opened. So when this class exists, I want to change things on the off canvas section. Then what to change? We hide it by setting the translate to -100%. Now we want to return the translate again. So I'll go to the custom CSS and make the transform. I will return the translate y to 0. Save. So refresh. Let's test how this works. When I click, it shows the off canvas. Click again, it hides the off canvas. One last thing to do is to add the transition. And in this case, we already created a class for the transition. So I will select the off canvas section here, off canvas, and I will add the transition class to the off canvas. Save, refresh. As you can see now, it shows the off canvas in a smooth transition. But if you notice that the entrance of the off canvas is a bit fast, I want the entrance to be slower, and the exit is fast like this, so it's okay. So to do this, I will override one of the transition classes here in the state, in the class opened, in the off canvas opened here. I will return to this selector, which is the off canvas opened, off canvas section. Then I will go to the advanced effects, transition. Then I will make the duration to a bit longer in the entrance. Save, refresh. So as you can see now, it's better now. It's in slow, then it goes faster. Cool. So that's it for the off canvas and for the menu button. Let's now continue working on the transitions here. So before I add the transition to the menu and to the contact information here, let me just make this X icon here. So when this class opened or this off canvas opened class exists, I want to change this icon. So to do this, I will add again a custom selector here, which will be active when the off canvas opened class exists in the body. So off canvas. So when we have this class in the body, let's change things in the menu bar class. So in our case, the first thing to do here in the menu bar, this middle line, the middle bar, I will hide the middle bar just by setting the background to transparent. I set the background to transparent, save, refresh. So as you can see, the middle bar now disappeared just by setting the background to transparent. Now what to do? I will rotate the before and after bars here. I will go to the same. I will add the before state here. Then I will just go to the effects, transform. Then I will add the rotate of 45 pixels. This is for the before. And I will go to the after. I will do the same, and I will add a rotate of -45. Okay. Save. Refresh. So this is the normal state of the button. When I click, as you can see, we have now this close or X icon. Cool. Let's continue now adding the transition to the menu. So when we open, I want to have some kind of animation to the menu and to the contact information. Okay. I will go back now to the menu. What I want to do now, I want to add this transition, as I said, the transition of the menu. I will go to the structure here, then I will select the text link. What to do, I want to hide and move the menu links here, those menu links in the initial state. And when we click on this, when this off canvas open class exists, we want to add some animation to the menu links here. So to do this, I have to set the initial state of the menu link. This is the menu link in its initial state. I will go to the advanced effects, then reduce the opacity to 0. Then I will go to the transform and move it down like move it down 100% of its width. So 100% of the link width, height. Okay, that's it. This is the initial state. Now what I want to do, I will go to the custom selectors here. Then I want to modify the menu link when we have this off canvas open class exist. So to do this, I will add custom selector here and I will say off canvas opened. Then I will target, when we have this class, I will target the menu link. I will target the menu link. So the first thing to do here is to return. I will go to the effects. I will return the opacity to 1. Then I will return the transform translate y to 0. Okay. Then I will add a transition to this process, which is the 0.8 transition. Let me check now, save, refresh. So when I open this, actually it appears on the same time with the same time this off canvas section. This transition takes the same time, exactly runs at the same time with the transition of the off canvas. So we have to set a delay here. So I will, if I added a delay here of let's say 1 second, save, refresh. We have this delay. But what I want to achieve here, I want not the whole block to appear at the same time, but I want each and every one to move with different times, okay? So to do this, I will go back here, I will just remove this delay. Then I will target each and every one of this menu links. So I will target, we have 4 menu links now, I will target each one of them by adding a custom state here. I will just add a delay, just change the delay. I will go to the custom state here, add state, then I will target the first one. For example, use this nth child. Nth child will select the first one. Nth child 1 will select the first item or the first menu link. Then I will give it a delay exactly the same delay of the off canvas section. Off canvas section takes like 0.8 seconds to finish the transition, so I will make the delay exactly 0.8. Then I will select the second one here, which is the nth child 2. I will add 1 fraction, 0.9, the delay. Again, I will add the third one, which is 3, nth child 3, the third menu icon. I will make it now 1 delay, 1 second. Then the last one is the fourth menu link. I will add the delay of 1.1. This way we will make sure that not the whole menu block will have the same transition at the same time, but there's a delay between the links. If I refresh now, if I select, we have this entrance. Cool. So one last thing, now we want to animate this one, this contact info block. We will do the same thing exactly. I will go back now to the structure here. Then I will select the this menu block. This is the div that contains all the contact information here. So I will give it a class of contact info. This is the initial state of the class, so I will just go to the advanced effects. Again, I will set the opacity to 0. Then I will go back to the transform here, and I will add something different, not translate, but scale. I will reduce the size to something like 0.7. That's it. Then I will add a custom selector now. The same thing I did here. I will add custom selector, which will trigger this contact info when we have this off canvas opened class exist. Again, I will hit add selector, then off canvas opened. That's it. What to do here? I will return the opacity to 1. Then I will return the scale to 1 also. Then I will add a transition of 0.8, and let's say I want this animation or this transition to run after the last one here, the last menu link here. The last menu link, the delay of the last menu link was 1.1 seconds, so I will give this 1.2, so I will make sure that this will run after this one. So the delay here will be 1.2. Save. Refresh. As you can see, guys, we have finished this tutorial. Now we have created this hero section with a custom menu just by using CSS menu button. And we have this very cool off canvas section. If you'll ask me about the responsiveness, it's very easy. I don't want to make this tutorial so long, so it's so easy to turn this into in the off canvas when we have something like less than 768. You can just make this vertical, this layout vertical, so the menu will be in the top and the contact information in the bottom. And this line, you can change the top and left positions of this line. From the top, make it 50%. From the left, make it 0. So it will be horizontally. And that's it. It's very easy to make this responsive. So I'll keep this task for you guys. At the end of this video, I hope you will like it, and if you do, please let me know in the comments, and see you in the next one. Thank you.